are doing the puja for the God who is there within you and who is instrumental for this, and you are just an instrument for their puja to the God within you. See that? They have identified God in you. You look godly. And they are performing puja. And that is the bhava, and that is the product, that is the commodity, that is the pushpa, that is the archana that they are doing. You are the instrument. Till that moment, just think of the Lord, that is all. You don't have any business to reject it or to claim that it belongs to you. Then after this he comes out. After this he comes out of the palace. In the palace, so much of salvation, so much of gift, and so much of gold, everything. When he comes out of the palace, lots of people are crying, crumbling, crashing. All of them look like skeletons. Hundreds and hundreds of thousands and lakhs and lakhs. All of them are crying, falling at his feet, waiting for an opportunity to have darshan. They all them look skeletons. Who are you? They say, we are your people, we are the subject of this country. What happened? Then they say, for so many months and so many years we did not have the water, we did not have the food, we did not have the fruit, we did not have the juice, we did not have any grains, we did not have the flowers. There was everything. The earth has earth was hiding everything, and we have become stark poverty. Except stark poverty, there was nothing. We are all dying. Most of them are dead. Do something. You have come. Please do something. Suddenly, Prithu becomes so wild, and immediately he took the arrow from the armory and directed it towards the earth, shouted, from my Yoga Shakti and Deva Shakti, I am going to burn the entire earth into ashes. I will create another bhumi, and I am going to give whatever my people wants. I am going to smash you. Within the next second, Bhumi took the form of the cow, appeared in front of him. Apologies to you, sir. Now you have become the king. It is a fact I was hiding. It is a fact I did not give anything to any people. There was a reason. Your father, Vena, was a worst criminal, hardcore criminal. He was a robber, he was a looter. He encouraged and motivated the gangsters and the criminal. I did not like to give the precious resources to the looters, robbers and the criminals. I was hiding. Now a great man has come, a grand man has come, a divine man has come, a kingly king has come. Whatever you want, bring the vessel, bring a cow. Cow is ready. Milk anything that you want. Then he got the meaning of it. Immediately, he just called the Swayambhu Manu. And today, whatever you have as the vegetation in the whole world, whatever you have as the water in the whole world, the seedlings of that, the seeds of the vegetation, which gives room for the growth of all types of trees and the greenery and the forestry and everything, which can give fruit, food, grains, everything, and also the seeds of the water, the basic liquid of the water, which flows in the form of the rivers everywhere. He got it and he just gave it to the people, and that is the beginning of the civilization all across. Then he did not become selfish. He wanted even the Rishis, let Rishis also enjoy this benefit. He called the Rishis, you come, you bring a vessel, you bring a calf. Then all the Rishis made Brihaspati as the calf, and they made the ears and the mouth as the vessels. And they said that, please give whatever you want. We want Vedavani. So they got the Vedavani from that cow. Then he called the guards, bring a calf, bring a vessel, take whatever you want. Then all the gods made Devendra as the calf, brought the golden vessel, got Amrita, Virya, Ojas, Dhatu, and extraordinary might or power. Then he was not partial. He called Daityas, Danavas, and Usuras, also monsters, Rakshasa. You come, you bring a calf, you bring a vessel, milk anything from the cow. And all the Daityas made Prahlada as the calf, brought iron vessel, and wanted liquor, massive liquor, continuous liquor, flowing liquor, intoxicating liquor, with dancing, and they took it in the procession. Then he called Gandharvas and Apsaras. Gandharvas and Apsaras brought the vessel. What was the vessel? Lotus flower was the vessel. Lotus flower was the vessel, and they got Gandharva Vidya, Bharata Vidya, dancing and music they got from that. Then he called Siddharth. Siddharth brought Kapila as the calf and got Animadi Ashtasiddhis. Then Vidyadharas came and fell at the feet and they requested the car, we want liberation, we want to fly, we want wings to fly. All the 14 yogas with full freedom, with no obstruction, no passport control anywhere. They were the Vidyadharas. Then he called Yaksha, Raksha, Bhuta, Dakini, Shakini, Pishacha, all that groups. You are not different. Come, whatever you want to take. Then they made the Bhairava as the calf and brought a skull as the vessel. Brought the skull as the vessel. Then they wanted liquor blended with the blood. Liquor blended with the blood. Then he called the serpents and the pythons and the snakes and the nagas, different types of nagas. They made takshaka as the calf, and they wanted poison. They got the poison. Then he called the cows. Cows brought real calf, and asked this cow, what they were. They wanted grass, and they got green grass. Ultimately, he asked the mountains, whatever you want to come. Mountains made Himavan, all the mountains in the world selected Himavan as the calf, and under the Himavan, leadership of Himavan, they wanted all the Khanija Nikshepa, Nidhi Nikshepa Khanija, all the metals and material type of things, they got it. Then he became so happy and so pleased with the earth, and he told, I'm extremely sorry for irritating you and creating such a problem, panic to you. Now, you have given everything to the world. I would like to adopt you as a daughter. I would like to legally adopt you as a daughter. Prithu Chakravarti adopted Bhumi as Bhudevi as his daughter. From that day, she was called as Prithvi. Then he went round the entire earth. He saw disorganized mountains, valleys, and grass, bush, and for the first time he created organized earth. He created Agraharas, he created villages, he created the cities, he created the palaces, and he chopped off the extra, fixed the mountains, and he filled the valleys, and he made the earth very beautiful. And in his lineage, there came a king called Prachina Barhe. Prachina Barhe was a person who was doing all the time he was performing yagna, and in the name of the yagna, at the name of the Purnavati, he was giving one pranibali, was cutting the head of a horse or elephant or a camel or something like that. Narada comes once, this fellow was having so much of preparation for the yagnas, and a continuous line of different animals were actually tied there. He was asking the people, what is that? No, for Purnavati purpose, he has actually kept that queue of animals. Then Narada comes and actually asks Prachina Barhe, what is it you are doing? He says, I want the greatest yagna performer of the entire history. I want to create a history. Then he says, just come with me. He takes him to the backyard of the palace, and he asks that Prachina Barhe king, please look there. Narada shows that Prachina Barhe king towards the sky. See there. Prachina Barhe looks there. What is the scene there in the sky? All the animals which were cut at the time of the Purnahuti as the pali, at that particular 1 second of that it's going to be cut, they get senses, they become alert, they get sixth sense, and they know that they are going to cut my head. Suddenly they get irritated, they become wild and they want to explode. In that wild anger, they die. With the same wild anger, they go there and they are waiting to pounce upon you. And all the animals this fellow has cut, they are waiting there in the queue. And you could see that once you go there, what happens to you? You know that. In the name of the yaga, in the name of the yagna, in the name of the puja, in the name of the divinity, if any violence, any cruelty, any crudeness, any rudeness, any harshness is done in the name of the puja, it is a criminal offense. Narada's declaration to Prachina Barhe. Puja means complete peace of mind. Puja means a divine frame of mind. There cannot be any opportunity, possibility of any cruelty or violent thoughts there. Then that Prachina Barhe had 10,000 children. I say, as anybody can become king, not a big issue. But Narada comes and tells these 10,000 people, why the hell you are in the compound of such a king who was always thinking like, go and do some tapasya. So all the 10,000 people went and sat under the entire big mountain for tapasya. There Narada comes and asks them, say, you are all sitting for tapasya. You know what's the meaning of tapasya, definition of the tapasya, characteristic of the tapasya, principle of tapasya. Okay, let us forget, you don't know anything. There are some minimum 10 things which any person who wants to perform tapasya should understand. And if you understand these 10 things, if you can answer these 10 questions, then definitely it is any tapasya that you are going to perform will be fulfilled. But without knowing the answer for these 10 small questions, if you perform 10,000 year tapasya, it will be a futile exercise. Then which of those questions? Narada, for these 10,000 people, will be asking a question, 10 questions. Which are those 10 questions? First one. Which is the end point or the tip of the whole universe? Which is the end point or the tip of the earth? That's the first question. Second question. There's a very huge land, huge area, but the entire huge land is only one Purusha. Which is that land? Third question. There is a cave, terribly difficult cave to enter and to penetrate, and it's very, very impossible, almost impossible, very difficult. But once if you enter a cage, you will never come back. Which is that cave? Fourth question. There is a lady with complete and continuous loose thoughts. Who is that lady? Fifth question. There is a husband who marries such a lady of loose thoughts. Who is that fellow? Then, sixth question. There is a river and that river flows in between two boundaries. Which is that river? Sixth question. Seventh question. There is a house with magnificent 25 mysteries. Which is this mystical house? Eighth question. There is a Hamsapakshi which is telling distinct and unique stories continuously. Which is the Hamsapakshi? Ninth one, there is a wheel, the wheel is turning and it is turning with speed, it is turning continuously, it is turning day in and day out, and it is turning from yuga and yuga. A lot of people have tried, they came like heroes and they tried to stop it, and a lot of people collectively tried to stop it, and all the forces they tried to stop it, nobody could stop it. It's a revolving wheel, continuously revolving wheel. Even today it is revolving, it's unstoppable wheel, which is the wheel. And the 10th question, there is a father, he has given a message. Who is the father? What is the message? These are the 10 questions. If you answer these questions, your tapasya will be fruitful and meaningful. Without knowing the meaning for any of these questions, if you perform 10,000 years tapasya, it is meaningless and irrelevant. Then all of them, they conduct discussion, the one-to-one discussion, one-on-one discussion, seminars, group discussions, interviews, everything, and nothing worked out. Ultimately, they fell at the feet of the Narada, please enlighten us. Then the first question, which is the end point or the tip of the earth? Then Narada says, your connection to the earth is the end point. Not the geographical area. What the hell you are going to do with geographical area? Your connection with this universe and the end land is the end point. That is not the Stula Sharira, that is not the Sukshma Sharira, that is not the Aniruddha Sharira, that is not the Agochara Sharira, that is the Sukshma Linga Sharira, which actually takes out the dress and takes another dress and has another Janma, takes out the dress, moves on. And when you look at one fellow, you say, just like the grandfather, his cough, his smile, his talk, his tone, his looks are just like the grandfather. Where from it has come? Now his Narada says, the link that connects you to this earth, as long as it connects, you will continue having Janma and Janma. And that last connecting point, if you are able to escape, then that is the end of it. Kannadadalli Dasaragal channel Sangavagali, Sadhu Sangavagali, Sangadinda Linga Deha Bhangavagali. It is called Linga Deha, Sukshmati Sukshma Sharira, which actually gets back the life, it comes back once again, moving around like this. But if you cut it, then you will not come back once again. That is the last point. Second question, there is huge land, and the entire huge land there is only one Purusha. Which is that? Narada says, in the whole world, in all the 14 in lokas, there is only one person who is completely independent, who is the Purusha. All other people and all other gods and all other living beings everywhere are dependents. That is why they are not called Purusha. Why in Purusha Sukta he is called Virat Purusha, means he is the only independent, completely independent. That is why he is called Purusha. All other people are dependents. The third question, there is a cave absolutely difficult and almost impossible to enter in, but once you enter, nobody has come back so far. Which is that? Gopala Dasa has beautifully said there, Avana Varti Kelidavaru Ullaru Samsaravannu Avana Murti Nodidavaru Avana Purake Poda Janaru Ommegana Hindirugaro Avana Purake Poda Janaru Ommegana Hindirugaro Avanu Tane Tanayarannu Tanna Vayavadinda Padedavage Validayata Kamalakumi Vasudevage Validayata Kamalakumi Vasudevage. Say, Vaikuntha is the place very difficult to go, very difficult to penetrate. Once anybody goes over there, never they will come back. That is the cave. Then there is a lady continuously with the loose thoughts. Which is that lady? Every second thought changes. Here, there, here, there. Ksanachitta, Ksanapitta. Ksanachitta, Ksanapitta. Who is that lady with the continuous thoughts, moving thoughts, losing thoughts, loose thoughts? It is our own buddhi. Even though we are all sitting here looking at me, your face, your eyes looking at me, but the mind is always there. That is buddhi. And see, fifth question, even such a lady with the loose thoughts has a husband. Who is that fellow? It is we, the people who have that type of mind. There is a river which flows in between two boundaries. Which is that one? That is the river of life, river of our life, our samsara, which flows between birth and death. There is a house with a magnificent 25 mystical elements. Which is that house? 25 mysteries. First one, Mahat Tattva. Second one, Ahankara Tattva. Third one, Buddhi. Fourth one, Manasu. Fifth one, Panchakanendriya. Sixth one, Panchakarmendriya. Seventh one, Panchabhuta. Eighth one, Panchatanamatra. 24 elements. With all these things, the body is there, and the body is electrified, activated with one Chaitanya called Bhagawatha Tattva. With that, it becomes 25 tattvas which have formed the entire body. And this 25 tattva, it is called 25 elements. And the body, human body is the magnified house with the 25 mysteries. Then the eighth one, there is a Hamsapakshi which tells continuous stories. Hamsapakshi has got one unique character. If you mix water and milk, it takes only water, it leaves the milk. Then the stories of the gods like Bhagavata will tell you what is good and what is bad, will force you to leave the bad and to take only good things. That is why the Bhagavat stories, Bhagavat Kathas are considered as the stories, that is the Hamsapakshi telling the stories. Then the ninth one, there is a wheel continuously turning, continuously revolving. People try to stop it, it is unstoppable. Even today it is revolving. Which is that? Kala Chakra. Kala Chakra. Finally, there is a father, he has got the message. Who is the father? God is the father. What is the message? Know what is good and what is bad. At any cost, go on doing the good things. At all cost, avoid doing the bad things. As simple as that. ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲಿ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ತಂದೆ ಒಬ್ಬ ಅದಾನ, ಅವನೊಬ್ಬ ಆದೇಶ ಕೊಟ್ಟಾನ. ಏನದು ಅಂದ್ರೆ, ಭಗವಂತನ ಮರೆಯಬೇಡ, ದುರ್ಜನರನ್ನ ಬೆರೆಯಬೇಡ, ಸಜ್ಜನರನ್ನ ಬಿಡಬೇಡ, ಸಜ್ಜನರನ್ನ ತೊರಿಬೇಡ, ದುರ್ಜನರನ್ನ ಬೆರೆಯಬೇಡ, ಪರಮಾತ್ಮನ್ನ ಮರಿಬೇಡ. That is the message. So these 10,000 people sat there permanently for tapasya and never they returned, and Daksha waited and waited and waited. The father, Prachina Barhi, now Daksha comes, Daksha takes another, because Daksha Yagna, I did not tell that story, Daksha Yagna takes place and he insults Maharudra and is going to become, he gets another Janma. Now, 10,000 people who have gone for tapasya did not come. He did not care. I got the potential of creating another 1,000. He created another 1,000 children. Narada comes from the backyard, calls these 1,000 people. That fellow, Daksha, is actually sitting there in the security area without allowing a single son to go out, because he had the very bad experience from the 10,000 people who never returned. He wanted all the 1,000 people to be flocked there, here. And in the backyard, silently, Narada walks in and calls them, don't talk, please come. And all the 1,000 children who felt like being imprisoned, now feeling extremely happy, they come to Narada. Narada says, I am going to give a mantra. You just start doing tapasya. What is the mantra? Om Namo Narayanaya Purushaya Mahatmane Vishuddha Sattva Vishtaya Mahamsaya Dhimahi. Then once they started actually chanting that mantra, they got electrified, they got a trigger, and immediately they opened the back door gates without informing the father. All the 1,000 people, they went and they sat for tapasya. Now this father waited and comes into the palace and nobody is there. Ultimately they said it is better to stop the production than male children. Female children are always better. Girls are the most affectionate fellows. So he had 60 girls now. 60 girls. Among them, 10 girls are given to Yamadharma, 13 girls are given to Kashyapa, 27 girls are given to Chandra, 2 people have been to Angirasa, other 4 has been given to Taksha. Then Kashyapa had 4 wives, Vinata, Kadru, Patangi, Yamini. In Patangi, all the birds, the whole world of birds came from this girl, Patangi. Then in Vinata, the Aruna, Surya Sarathi and Garuda, Vainateya, they came. Kadru, all the Nagas and Sarpas, snakes, serpents, they came. Then 27 girls were given to Chandra. They are Ashwini, Bharani, Kritika, Rohini and all that. Then Kashyapa Rishi had 13 wives. The 13 girls of this has been given to Kashyapa. They are Aditi, Diti, Danu, Kashta, Arishta, Surasa, Ila, Muni, Krodavacha, Tabra, Surabhi, Sarama, Timi. Aditi's sons, Adityas, all the gods. Diti's sons, Daityas, all these Rakshasas. Danu's sons, Danavas, Rakshasas. Kashta's sons, horse and horse type of animals. Arishta's sons, Gandharvas. Surasa's sons, Asuras. Ila's sons, all the tree and natural vegetation. Muni's sons, Apsaras. Krodhavasha, sons, snake and poisonous animals. Tamra, another wife, sons, eagle and such type of wild birds. Surabhi, sons, then cow, buffalo, also sting. Sarama, another wife, sons, the tiger, lion, all wild and cruel animals. Timi, another wife for her, Timingila, all the oceanic and aquatic animals. So the entire world was filled with these people. But whatever may be, there was no male child available to rule the world. That is a core point. They tried and no, all the 60, they are girls and they cannot rule. And these 11 fellows, 1,000 fellows have gone, nobody was prepared to come and nobody was to be seen at all. Ultimately, once again the kingdom became kingless. Then the prarthana was made to the Swayambhu Manu, what should we do now? Then the Shariravani comes. That person, Uttanapada's younger brother, Dhruva's Chikapa, who was performing tapasya in the forest, still performing tapasya, in spite of thousands of years, go and bring him. He is entitled, and in fact, he should have actually started ruling then. Now, bring him. They go, request in front of the cave, they request him, please come back. He says, I have forgotten that there is a world that is existing. I am completely at the feet of the God, thinking of the God, seeing the God. I'm not a fool to come and once again to get my mind disturbed and perturbed to get out. Then actually Brahma and Swayambhu Manu, Narada, all the 3 comes and stands at the entrance of the cave and they said, the person who has performed tapasya, if you are real tapasya and if you have total control of your senses, it doesn't make whether you are in the palace or in the forest. If you are weak and if you have not yet developed the control, forest, and even if you are alone, then you can't have any fulfillment. Don't worry. And living everything, sitting in the midst of the forest with no problem is not a big challenge. For a great tapasvi and great sannyas, the real challenge is live in the midst of everyone and leave everything and rule that. That is on come. Then there was no other alternative. He comes and because a person who has such a great tapasvi and a person who was away for thousands of years from the world has come and ruled. The moment he arrived there in the palace, there was such a big celebration, such a gala celebration, glorious celebration, all the lighting, all such fantastic fireworks went on until 6 o'clock, all the cultural engagements and arrangements and the programs. At 6:30, suddenly there was darkness. 6:40, total darkness. He just shouted, who the fellow who has switched off the light? Put on the light. I said, a lot of people are there. Said, no, it's not possible. Why? Sun has gone and light will not be there. No, the sun has come here and asked that sun to come and do the light. They say that it is nature. At 6:30 in the night, the sun goes and darkness comes. Till early morning when the sun comes back, the whole world being in the darkness. That is nature. Then he shouts, that is nature, but this is human being. I want my people of my capital and my country to enjoy 24-hour sunlight. That is there, then I will be the king I don't want. They said that nobody can challenge the nature, you can't change the nature. He said, God has created nature and God has created human being and God has given the brain for the human beings to control, to train and to tame the nature. You fellows, they said, it is impossible. Then he shouts, impossible is not the word that is created by the God. You weak fellows and weak fellows, you have created impossible. It is possible. They said it is impossible. And he said, okay, don't worry. If you think impossible, even possible things becomes impossible. If you think you can. If you think you can, you can. If you think you can, you will. If you think you can, you are going to do it. You want me to show it to you? Yes, call two carpenters. Immediately call two carpenters. Then he said, bring the extraordinary toolkit, brought it, and he gave the standards and specification and design to create a fantastic chariot. And he told early morning, 5:30 it should be ready. They say that you are the best in the entire country as carpenter. Early morning, 4:30, the chariot was ready. Then for the wheel, he asked the extraordinary experts in the field of mirror technology to bring one particular Saura Darpana, a mirror, solar mirror, and he just summoned it. He attached that Saura Darpana for the wheel of that particular chariot. At 5:45, he summons the Rishis. Asks the Rishi, where your son? Which is the place, which is the time your son appears? Tell me. Then in between two hills, they show the place and they say, exactly at 6:35, the sun arrives there. Just at 6:20, he takes his Ratha there. 6:35, bright, beautiful, reddish sun appears over there. And sun means sun speed. Sun speed with the same speed just by the side of the Surya Ratha. Priya Ratha goes till 6:25 in the evening. Just by the side of the Surya Ratha, he moves with the same speed, same force, same vigor, same rigor. And all the light and the heat of the Surya Ratha he is going to absorb in the Saura Darpana in the wheels of his chariot. At 6:20, Surya suddenly falls down and disappears. And this Ratha also suddenly falls down and hits the earth. Huge pit was created. Once again, with his mystical power, he comes back, takes his Ratha onto the top of the palace and projects the sunlight for the capital of his country. For next 12 hours, till 6:20 morning, sunlight and the heat is experienced by the people. Then second day also, he just comes the same Surya Ratha track. 7 days. Every day at the evening, a great pit is created because he was sitting. A sun was disappearing. 7th day, all the rishis comes. They fall at his feet and they say, you have proved one thing. Whatever you think you can do it, that is the world. Whatever you think you can do it, that you have proved to this world. But you have come for a different purpose. You are king, you do administration, governance. You have proved your point. We agree, we accept. Please leave this, come back. And he came back. All the 7 pits that he has created, they became Sapta Sagaras. In between the land, they became Sapta Dvipas. A person who said that I am only in the Albigit cave, he married and he gets 10 children. And 7 children, they became the kings of those Sapta Dvipas. And there was a girl for him. He was Urjaswati. His daughter's name was Urjaswati. He gives the daughter Urjaswati, Priyavrata's daughter Urjaswati. She was given to Shukracharya the guru of Rakshasas. From Shukracharya and Urjaswati, a daughter is born. She is Devayani. Then Agnidhra becomes the king. Priyavrata's son Agnidhra becomes king. Agnidhra's wife is Purvachitya, and Purvachitya is extraordinary and great. And they get a son called Nabhiraja. Nabhiraja's wife was Meru. And they actually performed tapasya. And they get a son. He was called Rishabha. Rishabha on the day of the birth was looking higher, thinking great, thinking grand. Whatever you think when you are a child, you are going to bloom into that. Rishabha proved it. When you are a child, don't think petty, don't think small, don't think cheap. Think great and think grand was the lesson given to Rishabha. Rishabha thought and Rishabha became emperor in buddhi, in gnana, in bhakti, in vairagya, in lakshana, in kirti, in radiance, in vibrance, in power and might, and extraordinary courage. He became, he created jealousy to Devendra. Not to the emperors of the earth. Even Devendra became jealous, and Devendra called the clouds and told, you stop raining on the fellow. Let the people suffer from the poverty. Let there be stark poverty. Let the people die over there. Then you will realize what greatness he is. Then when no clouds, no rain, people thought. Rishabha laughed at that. He said that, you want to know my Yoga Shakti? From his Yoga Shakti, he created other type of clouds. This cloud seeding, he created that concept. He created the clouds, and a lot of rains was there, and the entire king was actually blooming and blossoming. Devendra comes and falls at the feet of Rishabha, and Devendra pleads, please do a favor. What is that? Marry my daughter Jayanti. So Rishabha, a king on the earth, was given Jayanti, the daughter of Devendra. Then from Jayanti, Rishabha got 100 children. Eldest among them was Bharata. From the impact and the influence and the power and the might and penance and Shakti of that Bharata, for the first time, thousands and thousands and thousands of gramas and nagaras and patanas and rajyas were there, unified, integrated, sense of oneness and sense of belongingness was introduced, and he created the country, and that name of Bharata became the name for the country, that became Bharat. Bharat comes from this Bharata, not from Dushyanta's son Bharata, this Bharata. And out of 100 people, you see, the Rishabha was doing every day. He said, I am the king of the country, I am the emperor of the country, I am the president of the company, I am the CEO of the company, I am the chairman of the company, I am an IT person, I am a very big fellow, I am a finance manager, I am a band director, nothing doing. Even though I am the king of the country, still these are my children. These 100 people are my children, it is my duty to give time for them. Every day he used to call all the 100 children in the morning, 1 hour they would sit obediently there. First he was sitting facing them. Then his eldest son Bharata. Then he was preparing 10 rows. 10. The eldest among that row, he has to sit, turning. Kavi, Hari, Antariksha, Prabuddha, Pipalayana, Avirhotra, Drumila, Chamasa, Karabhajana. They became greatest Mahabhagavatakaras. Bhagavata tells their Upadeshas also. Then, what is the advice he was giving every day? He was telling, Mahatsevam dvaramahuri mukte, tamodvaram vishudam sangisangam, mahantaste, samachittaha, prashantaha, vimanya vasuradas. For children he was giving, be in the company of the good people, be in the company of the gentle people, always listen to good things, always listen to great things. Never fall into the prey, never fall into the company of the bad fellows, worst fellows, vulgar fellows, obscene fellows. Whatever company you will have when you are a child, your entire future life will be like that. So he was Mahatsevam Dvaramahurimakte. Be in the company of the noble people, serve the great people, serve the noble people, serve the Mahajjanas. That is the entry point for the Moksha Loka. Tamodvaram Yucham Sangi Sangam. That means to say, you enter into the bad company, worst company, vulgar company, then you will enter into tamas and anantamas, you will be in the dark and you will end up in prisons. But then who are the Mahantas, Mahanubhavas, Mahantaste, Samachittaha, Prashantaha, Vimanyavas, Surdasadavaye. Those who are having equanimity, those who are cool, those who are calm, those who are balanced, those who are godly, those who are divine, those who are noble, those who think good of everybody, those who always pray the God to give good things and good brain to everybody. It is with such people, be in the company. Then where he also said, Sarvatra Madhva Vichakshena Dhanena Vijnana Virajitena. He says, what is Vijnana? Rishabha tells to his 100 children, Vijnana means Sarvatra Madhva Vichakshena Dhanena Vijnana Virajitena. You see God, another 5 minutes I'm just. You see God everywhere, you see God in everyone, you see God everywhere, you see God in everyone. Always you think of the God, that is Vijnana. In fact, this point has been highlighted by Madhvacharya. Madhvacharya in Tattvaranya gives the ultimate definition for Vijnana. He says, Sarvasva Uttamo Vishnu Vijnana Madhahratam Pratijivam Yena Mukti Sadvijnanam Vidamatam Dhanam Vishnu Uttama Tvetadi Pratipurusham Visheshena Vijnanam Tachijanati Sarvavitu. That means to say, what is Jnana? What is knowledge? Anything, God is there in every body, God is there everywhere, God is there always. If you give this Jnana to the people, to the children, they will never disrespect anybody, they will never disregard anybody, they will love the people, they will like the people, they will respect the people. Give that knowledge that God is there everywhere, God is there in every body, God is there always. This is the real Vijnana. Once a person knows this with conviction, never he will harm anybody, never he will ill-treat anybody, never he will disrespect anybody. That Vijnana. And in the end, he says, finally, he comes to Karnataka. The first major reference of Karnataka comes in Bhagavata. This Rishabha gives the kingship to Bharata and ultimately has all his disciples. Comes to Karnataka, Kankada Karnataka, Dakshina Karnataka, and Kotachachalapuvane. That means to say he comes to South Kannada district, near Udupi, Kollur, Kotachadri places he comes, and there he tells, for the first time he introduces the concept of Ahimsa. He becomes Rishabha Tirthankara, he visits Venuru, Mudubidre, Karkala, that is where Jainism has flourished afterwards. Then he says, Guru Nasasyat, Sujano Nasasyat, Pita Nasasyat, Jani Nasasyat, Dayum Nasasyat, Napadishtat, Namochi, Yetisamvedam Rutyam. He says that any person, any parents, they will not become parents if they end up in giving the chocolate, ice cream, clothes, gifts to their children. Just they are making the Deha Poshane and they are enriching and encouraging only Deha Vimana. They will never become parents. The real parents are those people who are going to enlighten and enrich the Atma Shakti and who give the Atma Sukha for the children. They are the parents, not the people who are doing the Deha Poshana. Only those who are making the Atma Poshana, increasing the Atma Shakti and give that extraordinary enlightening for the children. They are the worthy parents. That he declared. And his son Bharata was one of the greatest kings, and the impact and the power of his kingship, the name was called. After 60 years, just like the parent, he left the kingdom to his children, comes to a forest, sits for tapasya. As a king he was great, as a brother he was great, as a son he was great, as a tapasvi he is greatest. That was India. In India, any job given to anybody, Savyasachis, they were doing it, and they were doing in all directions. They were extraordinary and they were excelling. And as a tapasvi, he became so great. One day he gets Ashari Ravani, sit on the bank of this river. Within few hours you are going to get the Devrata, will take you to Devaloka. He's very happy sitting there. Suddenly he listens to the voice of a deer. Turns back, a deer is very much afraid and became panicky and is running, it is running. He looks now clearly, it's a pregnant deer. A woman, a pregnant deer, a female pregnant deer is rushing, running and crying, shouting. Then he completely turns, then some lion is chasing it, is about to pounce upon that and eat it. Out of terrific fear, become panic, it is coming and it rushes and it comes here. But here there is a flooding river, huge river, terrible river, flooding river, and lion is already approaching. There was no other way out. Without even blinking, without thinking, it fell into that flowing river. Well, at the time of fall, the terrific fall, the fear of fall, the pain of fall, at the time of falling into the river, the stomach broke open and flash water gushed inside. The small tender the deer just came out and the entire stomach broke into two pieces and the mother deer dead then and there. Small deer, just born deer, and it is not knowing swimming also. Now he looks there, another huge wave of blood is coming. If that comes and hits, he's going to die. Out of the natural compassion and concern of a human being, he jumps there, takes it, caresses it, brings it, soft grass, he gives, and he thinks, if I go, that lion or the tiger may come, so let me give rescue. He takes it to ashram, sleeps by its side, and always carries with that, my dear, he forgets about Devrata, forgets Tapasya, forgets the God, continue completely attached to the deer, the touch of the deer, the seeing of the deer, talking with that, playing with that, and for deer he is all, and for him the deer is everything. Ultimately ended up our deer, and it was already time for him. Death came. Death doesn't care. Death doesn't spare. Death did not bother. It killed him. At the time of death, he did not remember the God. He did not remember tapasya. He did not remember even the father was given that samskara. He just looked at the deer, my dear, what happens if I die? Thinking of deer and seeing of deer, he died. Whatever you think at the time of your death, you are going to become that. Whatever you think at the time of your death, you are going to have that. He became deer in the next janma. But in the next janma, he had one extraordinary privilege. He had the memory of earlier janma. I say, what a fool I was. I was about to be taken to Devaloka after that great tapasya. There was already a Shariravani. But just I was attached to the deer. One small deer had so much of attachment, changed diversion. So now I am deer. But still, a deer may anywhere, anybody can make sadhana. What is there? You may be in New Zealand, but if you give your heart and mind, you can do sadhana. It may be the deer janma, but it comes to the forest. It came near hermitages. From the ears, it was listening to a Veda mantra. From eyes, it was seeing the yagna yaga. Whatever prasad that they were throwing, that it was eating. Just like the deer made the sadhana, and it died because the sadhana had the death. And the next janma, it actually was born as Bharata, same name Bharata, as the ninth son of the Vipra Dampatis in Sindhu Desha. And at that the moment he was born, immediately took a decision. Just one touch of the deer and one seeing of the deer changed the course of my direction. So in this janma, he had the memory of the earlier true janma. I should not talk to anybody. I should not see anybody. He says, if I talk to you, if you talk to me, it is not your talk that is coming. All your bhava, all your krodha, all your kamana, all your kopa, all your irritation, all your depression, all your disgust, all your frustration, the whole nature and the attitude takes the form. It wants venting. It takes the form of the sound waves, sound currents. It comes and it goes into eardrums. Through the ear it enters and it processes. It do that as it will send and transfer that samskara and pusamskara which was there in you. So you stop talking to the body. And he comes to another conclusion. Not merely talking. If somebody looks at my eyes and my face to face, they are sharp enough, shrewd enough in sending that negative rays through my eyes. I don't want to see them. He just did not. Then he was called Jada Bharata. Jada, simply eating and sitting, became stout, no activity. Ultimately became Jada Bharata. As long as parents were there, they were feeding. Once parents died, brother said he's more liability to the family, throw him out. He was thrown out and he was sitting at the edge of the road. Somebody was calling this stout fellow, come do the work. He was doing the work. They give some food, eat, otherwise no asking also. Once he was sitting like that, then suddenly a robber comes, robber Steve comes, robber calls his Purohit, said that, is it the type of the plan that you are told? Yes. Robber did not have the children. He was pleading with the Purohit. Priest was telling, you give Narabali to the Mahakali. What Narabali? A strong man, stout man, young man, vibrant man, radiant man, a man who has no anga, bhanga, cheda, a man who will be volunteering himself, a man who will never resist, never retaliate. If you give that fellow, you will have a strong, wonderful, great child. Then the robber was happy, he was captured, he never resisted, he was taken in, he was given a bath, he was given sindhura, he was given a garland, he was given the last supper of his life. Then he was actually made to come and his body was bent towards the Mahakali. Then the Purohit says, priest said, first incantation, lift the sword. Second incantation, keep it ready. Third mantra, cut the head, operate. So first mantra is over, second mantra is ready, the king is ready. Third mantra, the head has to be cut. At that time, in the Vigraha, the Mahakali Vigraha, Mahakali who was there within the Vigraha, she thought that for my Bhakta, for such a great Bhakta, for such Antaranga Bhakta, for such Sadhana Bhakta, for such Gupta Sadhaka, these people in the name of my Bhakti and my offering, they are doing criminal thing. Within next second, from the the Vigraha. Mahakali emerged and jumped out and cut the heads of all those robbers and criminals. And he just said, "Thank you, Mom," and he walked off. He came and sat in the same place. The Raja Rahugana, king of Sindhu Desha, is coming in a palanki. 6 people are carrying. One fellow got the headache and he ran away. Only 2 people on one side and 3 people on the other side. There was so much imbalance. King said, "If there is any strong man, stout man, young man, just get him and put the bamboos there." This fellow was sitting. He was dragged in, and Pallaki and the bamboo was actually placed on his shoulders. Bharata's father, Rishabha, was a champion of Ahimsa. He started Jainism. He was the first Tirthankara. It was he who introduced to the world the manifesto of Ahimsa. Every day he was giving advice of Ahimsa. And he was telling to the people, "Children, when you are putting a step, look there, and insect, worms, if they are there, give a jump." Now suddenly he remembers that. He is carrying the palanki, looking there, and the ant line was going. How can I step in? He gave one jump. Such a huge fellow giving one great jump. Imagine the plight of that king there. One jump here, one bump there. King says, "Stop it, idiots." Then he opens the screen. "Who is that?" All the 5 fellows said, "This new fellow, he is the culprit of the procession." Then he said, in a sarcastic way, "Oh, this fellow, since 10,000 miles he is carrying me. He is a 100-year-old fellow. Say with whom you are playing, idiot. I am the king of the Sindhu Desha. I am the Rahugana Raja. I am the Chakravarti. If you just repeat this type of silly thing, I will cut you into pieces. I am going to kill you, idiot." Then the procession restarted. Now suddenly a rabbit came. Rabbit means, how can you put step? I say, rabbit is a bigger thing. So jump is also bigger. Bigger jump. Bigger jump here. Giant bump there. His head was hurt. King's head was hurt. Said, "Stop it." He says, "I will kill you now. You are a dead body, living dead body, you fool. You know whom you are carrying? You are carrying the Chakravarti of the whole world. Be careful, idiot." Till now, from the day of the birth, Bharata had not opened the mouth. Now he opens his mouth. He said, "What you said?" You said, "You are the king." Which king you are? What king you are? Where you are the king? If another robber comes with 15 people and that fellow throws you out and if he sits in Pallaki, who will be the king then? If you are going to be tied down to this tree and somebody runs the procession, who will be the king? For example, there is a fire for the Pallanki and for you, and both you and the Pallanki is burnt and reduced into ashes. These 5 people who are carrying you, whether they are distinguished, this is the ash of the Pallanki, this is the ash of my king. I say, were you the king when you were in the womb of your mother? When you were playing as a small child in a very silly way, were you the king? And in the last 100 janmas, where were you? Were you the king? In the next 1,000 years, where you will be? Millions and millions of people who shouted and cried and made all the slogans that I am the king. Nobody is available. What type of king you are? This body and this head and this mind will bow down to only one king, king of all times and king of all kings. Ishavasya vidam sarvam. He is the only king. You are nothing. And you say that I am carrying. You are carrying a king. I am not carrying anybody. Earth is carrying the mud. Mud is carrying the surface. Surface is carrying the feet. Feet is carrying the knee. Knee is carrying the thigh. Thigh is carrying the waist. Waist is carrying the chest. Chest is stomach. Stomach is carrying the chest. Chest is carrying the shoulder. Shoulder is carrying the bamboo. Bamboo is carrying Pallaki. Pallaki is carrying a body. Body is carrying a mad mind. An insane mind which has the Brahma, which has got illusion. It is the king. What I am to do with that? Get out, idiot. Immediately Raja Rahugana fell at the feet of this. He said that I was going to Kapila Muni to have Tattvapadesha. You must be Kapila Mahamuni. Please advise me. Namo Mahatyo, Namo Shishubhyo, Namo Yobhyo, Namo Dubhyo. In future I don't ill-treat anybody. In future I don't disrespect anybody. I don't disregard anybody. We don't know what type of extraordinary light that is there in a very, very ordinary face. Please excuse me. Jada Bharata Vekhyana. Tomorrow I will continue with the Narasimha Avatara. The Jamila, Ambarisha and other stories tomorrow. With these words, I pray God to give very good health and happiness for our Venkatesh and Nagashri family. They are very close to my heart. When there was some problem, Nagashri immediately telephoned to me. I was in Bangalore. The moment I received the telephone, I went immediately to our Kamadhenu Kshetra, Raghavendra temple there. And I just recited Vishnu Sahasranama along with Guru Shesh, who is the priest, who is also close to these people. We made prayer here, and here all of you, Umesh, and everybody, you have done a lot. Once again I pray God to give them complete health, very good health, durable health, stable health, and complete happiness to the whole family, such a good family. And that CD we have produced, Kamadhenu Kshetras, myself and SP Balasubramaniam, I'm complete, my Nirupana is there, and SP Balasubramaniam songs. Very recently, just before coming here, we released this one, and it will be available with our Venki Nagasri. We will also listen to that. Once again, my namaskarams to Venkat, Kavita, Umesh, and all the people who are assembled here. I pray God to bless. I told one thing. Prajikita says in the 11th chapter, anybody who tells Bhagavata, listens to Bhagavata, arranges Bhagavata, they will never attain Punarjanma. And in this Janma, they will experience total happiness and total peace. Once again, I pray God to bestow upon all those things to you. And if anybody, yesterday somebody inquired whether you have brought some CDs. I brought very few CDs. If you are very interested, you can have those CDs. These words, thank you very much. We will meet tomorrow. Please make announcement about tomorrow's meeting.
Thank you, Guruji. Tomorrow the lecture will be with Anigundi's residents. Can you just repeat the address? Sorry, Gururaj Anigundi.
320B Richardson Road, Mount Rossville.
So as usual, it will start at 6:45, chanting Krishna's Nama, and then 7:15 we should start the lecture. Thank you all. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,